dreamers, and welcome back to Perla's Dreams. Taurus, this is your reading for this month. And again, guys, these are general readings, so only take whatever applies and leave the rest. There is this energy of impatience when it comes to you guys that I'm picking up. This energy of like you wanting something to move along, something to be to come through fast. You want to get to the end of this now, whether this is a project or because there is an outcome expected from this ending. Why did I say ending? So I guess maybe for because like I guess oh shoot wait, so you guys like I do calm down one at a time. So you guys are impatient about an outcome. Now, for some of you, this impatient with the outcome is because something is coming to an end. Now, whether it is that you are, getting a divorce, whether there's a relationship that has ended, there's still things in the mix of it or in the midst of it or whatever. Like, so any type of connection that you had with an individual, whether it was romantic or platonic, business, like whatever, there are things in the midst of it, right, in the middle of it, that need to be almost kind of like it has to be like clarified, like what goes to who, like what goes to who, is what I keep hearing. So who gets what? So there's assets that need to be divided, something that needs to be divided, something that needs to be worked through, and because of that, a lot of you are kind of like impatient because you want to get to the end of this. Because that's the way that the energy is coming through. It's like, okay, can we just hurry up and finish this? Can we hurry up and be done with this? And as I'm saying that, I am looking for something. And I'm trying to ask myself, what is it that I'm looking for? Okay. I don't know what I'm looking for. I'm sorry, but your energy, like, I need to, like, either blow some tobacco on myself or something, because your energy is coming in, and it's right here. It's like right in front of my face, what I was looking for. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. I was okay, I'm back. So basically with this energy, like this chaotic energy, especially this energy of like looking and looking and looking, this energy of like waiting, Spirit is saying that the outcome that you want, or what it is that you are wanting out of this ending with this individual, you're going to get. You need to kind of like slow down, or like slow your breathing, like kind of like gather yourself a little. There's this little scatter energy again, because like you're wanting to, you're wanting what you want, and you don't want this other person to get away with what you feel that is rightfully yours. And Spirit is like, hey, we got you, relax, we got you, don't worry about it, we got it, we got it, just, can we do our thing? And it's almost kind of like that, like, it's almost kind of like somebody, how when people are driving, it's like as soon as the light turns green, people already beeping the horn at you like 3 cars down, and you're just like, can I get my foot off the brake first? Like, I know what we gotta do, like, relax. That's kind of like what it sounds like. Spirit is trying to tell you, like, I got this. Where's your faith? Like, where's your trust in me? Where is your trust in me? And during difficult times, I understand that it's hard to sit in that trust, right? To sit in that faith, but that is what you're being asked to do during this time. There seems to be like this this energy of like mutated animals coming through in the readings. So you have like a snake. There's like a snake, right? And it's coming upward. But when it gets to the top, it's like I can't see the head. All I see is the head of a bull. And I know that you Tauruses are represented by the bull. Um, and the bull, so the bull spiritual meaning represents strength, resilience, fertility, and abundance. And a snake, I mean, it really depends on. I don't know if some of you are into like the Kundalini snake or something like that, but there's something about this energy that. So yeah, so the snake represents rebirth, transformation, healing, wisdom, and well, if you go through the Bible, it says like temptation from evil, but that doesn't seem to resonate. But there is this energy that as you're going through this transformative state in your life, where something is coming to an end, right, and things are being divided, and you're almost kind of like really impatient with wanting to get started with the next chapter. You're really impatient with wanting to start with the new or whatever it is. Now, for some of you, and this is going to be for a very few of you, you are in a relationship with someone that is is finalizing their divorce. And what I mean by this is like the person that you're with has either been separated for like many years, right? And you've been with this person for like at least a year or two, but their divorce is finally like being finalized. Whether there was kids that are now like grown and out of the house, and now things need to get divided or whatever, there is an energy here again of like impatient. I don't know if you're impatient because you're supposed to be marrying this person once the divorce finalizes, and you're like, okay, finally I get to book a date type of energy. And again, that is going to be for very few of you, but excuse me, this energy of the impatient really needs to be addressed. Really, really, really needs to be addressed. Because when we're in a state mentally of impatient, when we are in the state of eagerness, the state of like what's gonna happen, like the state of worry or whatever, it does something to your nervous system, right? You can physically feel it in your nervous system, and your body is kind of like screaming out at you at this moment and saying like, hey, Taurus, this is taken care of. Like, your body has received the message from spirit, but your mind hasn't. And it's because you're listening with your outer ears and not your inner ears. So, excuse me. Oh my God, where's my throat going like that? So there is a sense of like, whether it is that you need to take a couple of minutes every day and kind of like reset your nervous system, reset yourself, because it's getting to a point where it's a little annoying, to be honest with you. Like, I feel like your body is a little annoyed with you, with the fact that you're allowing all of these thoughts to take control, to take hold of you, of like, when is this going to end? Um, and I usually, I keep forgetting to say this, especially like when people are going through a hard time. I do have a playlist on here with like the chakra balancings, and they're like about 3 to 4 minutes. So if you're having a hard time like with your mind, with your root chakra, like grounding yourself or whatever it is, take a few minutes and just kind of like watch one. And it's basically just like a breathing type of practice to kind of like help yourself get grounded, because during this time is where it's almost kind of like, if you look at it, the way that I look at life is like our entire life is a test, right? The way that I like to imagine is like we're going through like these classrooms, through these lessons, so that we can do better the next time we're here, right? The next time around. So when I'm in these spaces, in these very challenging spaces, right? And I'm gonna use financial just because for me that was my truth for a very long time. And I know it's like, as a Capricorn, that's kind of like almost unheard of. But I went through a period of time where I was taken out of work and all of these other stuff. And I talk about it like in previous videos like years ago. But in those moments when spirit was telling me like, yeah, I removed you from this, and I know that you didn't want to, but this is what you're meant to do. This is your path, and if you trust in me, everything is going to be taken care of. There were moments where it'll be like a day before a bill was due, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like, right? And I would have to kind of like sit with myself and say, no, I was, this is what I've been told. This is what I've been shown. If I follow my path, if I do what I am meant to be doing in this life, everything else is going to be taken care of. How that manifests sometimes, especially like in the beginning, is through through trust, right? Trusting that it's going to come forth. And throughout that entire time that I was playing like this game of trust with spirit, it never failed. Spirit never failed me, never ever failed me. So now when spirit comes through and says this or that, I just be like, okay, I follow through because of the way that my life has changed since I surrender, right? Since I surrender to my intuition, since I surrender to the spiritual path that I'm living, because this is not just it. Like what you guys see here, these readings are like a tiny portion of what I do spiritually outside of, outside of outside of these videos. But the moment that I allow myself to really lean into, or I surrender to my intuition, to what I've been called forth to do, my life tremendously changed. I've been able to achieve things that if you're just walking around endlessly, right, in society, would have been told that I could never accomplish because of the circumstances, because of the challenges that I face at different stages of my life. But yet here I am. And that's kind of like what spirit is trying to tell you. It's like, I understand that you're frustrated, that you want this to end, that you are done with this and you just want to close the door on it. But there are things here, like it looks like assets, right? So like whether it is houses, property, like if it's a business, it's like inventory, whatever. There's things here that need to be split, and spirit is working behind closed doors to make sure that what is you're entitled to, what is yours, right? And sometimes when we try to rush things, we end up jeopardizing ourselves because we end up taking a cut. We end up taking a loss when it comes to certain things. And this is a situation where you're not meant to take a loss. All right, so let's go ahead and let's see what else. Um, and again, this is coming in for, I want to say not that many people. I want to say maybe like 2 or 3 people. There is a couple here that, so like let's say you and your significant other have had, okay, they're showing me like about like 4 to 5 miscarriages. And this is like, again, I don't understand why it's coming in as specific as it's coming through, but it is. So there's a couple here that has been trying to conceive, has been trying to have a baby, and has miscarried about 4 to 5 times. And by the end of this year, like it's almost kind of like your next pregnancy, or if you're currently pregnant, like this pregnancy is coming to fruition. Like I actually see the two of you and your partner walking out of the hospital with a healthy baby. I don't know, that had to come through. That's the way that it came through. Um, Again, this being in your mind a lot is coming up. It's almost kind of like it's hard for me to even see clearly because of all all the intrusive thoughts that you're having are, a lot of you are creating your own, like, you're creating your own disappointments, or you're creating your own hell on earth. You know how people say like heaven on earth is like you're creating your own hell on earth because you're either over analyzing or overthinking situations. It's like somebody says, thank you, and you're trying to analyze like what's behind their thank you. Somebody says have a good day or God bless you or whatever. I don't care what you believe in. Like if somebody says God bless you, it's like the same thing as somebody says Merry Christmas. That is their belief. They're speaking from what they believe is something that is genuinely loving. Just because you don't practice something doesn't mean that somebody is saying something to you to try to insult you, right? And that is something that we all have to realize. Like we are all coming from different places, we all have different beliefs, and when we try to change the way that somebody else speaks to us, we really 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 need to look inside. Really need to look inside. um because honestly, a lot of the time, I want to say like 99% of the time, people are not trying to insult you. People are not trying to be mean to you. It is just the way that you're perceiving it because society is telling you, oh, if somebody says God bless you and you don't believe in God or whatever, they are trying to attack you. No, they're not trying to attack you. It's like if somebody was to get offended because I say grand rising instead of good morning. That's my preference, right? Or if I say good morning instead of grand rising, again, that is my preference, right? And it's almost kind of like this, like maybe dial it down a little with the social media, maybe dial it down a little with the TV or whatever it is, because it's like you're allowing yourself to be fed a lot of things to like external devices is what I'm seeing, that are now kind of like messing up with your own judgment. And I know that you don't want to hear this, and I know that it's something that it may be triggering to some of you, but not everyone is out to get you, Taurus. Not everyone is out to get you. Let's step a little bit away from this overthinking things all the time, and let's really try to pinpoint where it is that that this emotion or these feelings or this perception is really coming from. Why is it that you feel that everyone is always attacking you? Why is it that you feel like you're always losing? Why is it that you feel that you're always like getting the short end of the stick or whatever? It's like, why do you feel that way? What has led to that? Like, what have you avoided in the past? Whether it is like, you maybe allow people to step all over you, maybe you allow people to, whatever it is, like, where is this coming from? Because this is not healthy. The energy that I am picking up, it's like, it is stressful just being you. It is stressful to be in your mind for like a full day. Um, there's this big conception when it comes to you guys believing that if something didn't work out, you are to just kind of like abandon something right away. And sometimes when there's a challenge within, like, let's say a project or a relationship or something, it's not necessarily because something has to end. Sometimes is there has to be things that need to be adjusted, whether within yourself or whether within the other person, or whether when it comes to like the communication, right? Communication here is coming through this energy of like, okay, are you expressing what it is that you actually need and what it is that you actually want out of a connection, regardless of whatever that type of connection is. Like, are you expressing that, or do you just expecting the other person to automatically know what it is? All right. Yeah, a lot of these readings have a lot to do more with like ourselves. I set this intention of helping as many people as possible to like, while they're on their path, right? While they're evolving, while they're growing. And a lot of that again comes back into the space of like the shadow work, comes back into the space of really self-reflecting. That song by I want to say is Taylor Swift, and I want to say is, oh my god, what is the name of the song? There's a verse that says, um let me see if I can find it. Because it, like, I can hear it, but it's like for some reason I cannot verbalize it. Um, I know it's a Taylor Swift song. Give me a second. Where is it? Okay, so the anti-hero song. And there's a verse where she says, what's the verse? I'll stare directly at the sun, but never in the mirror. It must be exhausting, always rooting for the anti-hero. So this image where a lot of people are constantly like looking outside of themselves. They're constantly looking at the beauty or the ugliness of the world around them, but they seem to shy away at looking at the beauty and the ugliness within themselves. and and like, none of us are the exception to that, right? We all have the beauty and the ugliness within ourselves, and it's this game of like balancing it out, and that's really where this whole evolution, this whole awakening comes into play. It's like, okay, how do we balance this out? Like, how do I live my authentic self, balancing these two aspects of myself without letting one take fully control over the other, right? Because sometimes when we allow the beauty to take control over, and when I mean beauty, we're talking about like this, like super kindness, this super thing. Like there is this within this beauty, right? This space where you can be taken advantage of, right? Where you start to let your boundaries kind of like fall down, right? And that's where the ugliness comes in. It's almost kind of like, look at the beauty as the kindness, right? But the ugliness, the boundaries that are surrounding that kindness, so that nobody comes in to abuse it, so that nobody comes in to take more than what it is that you're willing to give. So there is always kind of like this balancing back and forth, right? And sometimes the kindness or the beauty of it, excuse me, may come out a little bit stronger, and sometimes this ugliness has to come up a little bit stronger to really like reinforce this boundaries that you're setting. Like, again, and I say this in a lot of my videos, like a lot of people are really into the light, and I love the light, but in the darkness, in those shadows, ooh baby, I have learned so much that I feel that a lot of people run from, and it's like, no, that is a part of who we are. That part is there, and it wants to be seen, it wants to be heard, it wants to be witnessed, it doesn't want to be judged. The same way that you're not judging your beauty within yourself, you shouldn't be judging your ugliness. So let's go ahead. So we're using this new deck that was gifted to me. It is called the Medicine Heart Oracle. It is a very beautiful, beautiful, beautiful deck. Give me one card to close out this reading, Spirit. One card to close out this reading, Spirit. One card to close out this reading. Okay, what flew out here? Alrighty. I love the way that it looks like with the little pandas and stuff. So I want to say Nagalja Panya. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that wrong. I'm probably butchering it. So I'm just going to let you read it and look at it. Let's see what the book has to say in regards to this card. So it's number 20, right? And again, this is a new deck. It was gifted to me last, I want to say it was either last week or the week before. This is my first time actually using it. All right. With hope in your heart, you will activate the helpful spiritual intelligence needed for creative healing resolution. No matter how great the odds may seem, difficult will be the transformed into opportunity and soulful manifestation. New possibilities will arise from which is excuse me, which is outmoded. Though you will spontaneously manifest fierce compassion if required, an underlying gentle approach will converse your energy and attract all necessary resources to you. You are destined to evolve beyond the problematic solution into a more abundant, resourceful, and supported reality. So, again, whatever it is that you're waiting for something to happen, or you're waiting for something to end, you're waiting for an outcome of something, it is already, in the spiritual aspect, is already done. It is what you want, what you desire is already yours. Just lean into this trust at this moment so that you can allow it to manifest. Well, guys, as always, thank you for all your love and support. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing to the channel. And if you haven't done so, go ahead and do so. We would love to have you. Sending every single one of you love, strength, and blessing, guys. Take care. Love you all. Mwah. Bye-bye.